Every nigga I seen with a kid, nigga complained and hated a black woman he had a baby by. So in my 20s, psychologically, nigga, I wanted to be able to have a loving relationship with my son. And nigga, I wasn't fit to have no baby with no black woman because she wouldn't allow you to have a loving, full relationship with your son. Because what I start hearing between my cousins and my female friends is, this my child. You can't take my baby nowhere. So the black woman claims 100% rights and authority over the kids. So that robs a black man of his legacy. I wasn't robbed of my legacy. Most black children don't have their dad's last name. Most black women won't allow the black man to name their child. Most black women wouldn't allow the grandmother of the baby daddy to have access to the grandbaby because what she felt about the baby daddy. So she kept the kid away. So I didn't want that, homie. So I strategically said, nah, I ain't putting my dick over there in that garden. Nigga, every nigga I seen.
I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, more importantly, you saw the clip. Google the book first so you can find it on Amazon. So I'm gonna talk about part of what he said, and I'm gonna bring the little Corey Holcomb thing into this. First and foremost, I remember actually having this conversation, part of this conversation with my best friend before he died. And my son was little, and I was like, listen, man, honestly, man, he said, I just want him to, I want to know my son and I want him to know me. But it's just in a nutshell. And he was like, yo, it's like, it's dope. And he was telling me, I know you're going to be good at it. But along the way, there became a contentious, hateful relationship for that same reason between me and his mother, because it wasn't, having a loving relationship with my son wasn't necessarily wasn't what she wanted. She wanted an enemy type of situation. So, even as a child, even though my son doesn't know it, he probably doesn't even remember. But the things that he would say and do, I know came from her. You know, come to visit. I don't want to be around you. My mama said I don't have to be around you. I don't like you. I like my mama more than you. My mama said I only have to be here a certain amount of days, a certain amount of weeks. I have to go back home. You know, I remember this time we were sitting in. I was I would make him work in workbooks. Like, so whatever grade he was going to, like if he was going to first grade, I would have a first grade workbook over the summer. You know, second, third, fourth, so on and so forth. And I remember when I first started doing that, um, I would give him the phone, let him talk to his mama. I wouldn't be bothered. I wouldn't be in the room listening. And then there's this particular time I was in the kitchen and he was in the room. He was in his room. And he's like, I don't like him. And then his mother was like, I know you don't like him. I know he's mean. I know he's evil. What is he doing this time? And he said, he's making me read and work on these math. He said, and then she was just like, and I heard her pause, like, okay. Well, you're gonna be home to mama soon enough. And at that moment, I was like, I'd have beat the brakes off of you, because she couldn't even tell him at a young age that you know he needed to learn, because I was the one doing it, right? And rewinding a little bit, every time I gave her something for him to do learning wise, she would just completely throw it away, like completely drop the ball. I can't do it. I don't understand. I ain't got time. That type of stuff. So and then it came that animosity and that grooming animosity. It grew in him over the years. He lived until he lived with me. He lived with me the first time he lived with me. First time he lived with me, he started off wild. And then maybe about 4 or 5 months in, cool. It was cool. He was a different kid, just completely. chill environment, chill kid. Everything was good. He went back, came back. Oh Lord, just was all it was all I hate you. You know, from what, from age 5, till maybe like about maybe 12 or something like that. And he was like, how do I have to be to not see you no more? And he said that about 12. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, my mama said when I turn this age, I ain't got to come see you no more. And it was like 14. But he told me this at 12, and they ain't sent his ass back ever since, right? And then he came back and he moved in with me as a freshman, because they got into it. And then we had a conversation, just me and him. I was like, look, you uncomfortable? He's like, yeah. I said, how long is it going to take you to try to work to get comfortable? Like, come and have a conversation. Come talk. I'm in the living room. You stuck in your room all the time. Come out your room. How long you think it's going to take? He's like, maybe. I was like, I said 6 months. Was it going to take like 6 months? And he was like, yeah, about 6 months. So, okay. 6 months later, he still wasn't coming out that room. And he wasn't cool with his mom in the beginning. He got cool with his mama, and then just like that, we slowly and escalated to becoming enemies. And I'm gonna say it this way: there was he went there for spring break. They got cool. He went there for spring break, and I wasn't sure if he was coming back. You know, and my wife, she was like, "Yeah, he gonna come back." I'm like, "I ain't sure." And then so he comes back, he finishes the school year, and at that point, I'm like, "Yeah, he's staying, whatever." So his mother's like, "Oh, I want him to come back for the summer," and I've seen her dip with him the last time we had a custody hearing. So I was like, "Nah, we're not doing that." So then he dips with her help, and it was all out of the hate. So I'm like, "So let me tell me, you said you didn't want to live around them and be around them, and what spring break would be April, you know what I'm saying? And then come June, July, I love you." I was like, "Oh, okay, this is crazy," but during that whole process of having to deal with somebody who's like, you gonna talk to him when I say, you gonna see him when I say. If I buy a ticket for him to come to see me, when it's supposed to be time for him to come see me, I ain't gonna take him to the airport because I don't feel like it. That was animosity. Him having a 7, 8 a.m. flight was a problem. It was just like it was ridiculous. But it was that, I don't, you it's my baby. This ain't your baby. And when one of my homeboys, he said, man, and he said this years ago. He said, man, what's funny? All my homeboys that's with black women, when I see them on social media, they got that. They just sad face. They don't even look happy. All of my friends that don't have a black woman, they on their social media like, hey, life is great. He's like, man, I think they doing something better. and part of it was guys' complaints about the situations that they had with their kids. Just unnecessary stuff. So, and then when you see these people saying, brothers are dating out and brothers ain't picking black women and brothers are passport bros and they flying here and they flying there and ladies ain't been out and forever and a day and it's all, Netflix and chill and, you know, and women are going to get BBLs. It is like, y'all don't realize how many adults figured out when they was teenagers and adults that they were just an object to use. So now the guys don't want to be the dad that become villainized, because I've seen guys um, hate their dad for not being involved and be worse than their dad that wasn't involved because of this whole "that's my baby." Like, that's your baby, that ain't my baby. Okay, F that then. Like, they turn into something worse than what they said their father was. Their father fought to be involved with them, and the fact that you got to fight anyways is the other problem, because guys start realizing, I got to fight. And women are so silly about that. Why don't you fight? Why don't you fight? Why don't you fight? And it's like, why don't you stop making it a fight? I mean, has that ever crossed your mind? Anytime, I'm quoting Brian McKnight. Um, but the hatred grows, and one of the things that interested me about even when my son just graduated, I didn't want to be nowhere around any one of his family members. Some of them are cool. Don't get it twisted. I think his aunt's cool. Both his aunts are cool to me, but just because, his mom and his grandmother, they've done so much dirt over the years. It's just like I just do not ever want to be around them ever. Like I'm not even gonna fake key with you. It's not even gonna happen. And it's because of that. It's because of that idea of I'm gonna just, it's my baby, it's not your baby. Like it's and guys seen that time and time again. You've seen it where you can see a mother can have brothers and sisters or aunts and uncles, a mom, their dad, their stepdad or whatever. They can have more access to the kid and they talk to the kid like that's my kid. And it's like, yes, what? Y'all, first of all, y'all on the same team and y'all on some BS. And you still trying to play this. This is my kid, this is my nephew, this is my niece, this is my it's like, oh, so you okay, you with it. Okay. We gonna have a problem. So for me, this is part of the reason why people aren't having as many kids because it's all of this unnecessary drama. And it's a dumb thing because when the kid get grown, and I gotta say this before I get out of here, the kid get grown, and now they're not comfortable around their dad, and then they don't like their mom. It's weird, but it's like, and they're stuck, and they got to decompress from everything, and they might take them years. So it is what it is on that part. But tell me what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.